nonstop Vikings talk. It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
You think you like football? Ron Jaworski doesn't just really like football. He loves football.
There's a lesson to be learned here. Don't be late for practice. Don't oversleep. You better be there. You don't see the football field. Football! Yeah! Football! Football!
Whatever happened to Jaws?
I think he's doing work in Philadelphia now since he got I think he got let go in one of those ESPN purges a couple of years back.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he's doing Philadelphia radio and some TV.
Okay. Because he was huge on ESPN for so long, right?
Omnipresent.
He is the CEO of Ron Jaworski Golf Management Incorporated, based out of Blackwood, New Jersey, and manages golf courses in southern New Jersey, northeast Pennsylvania, and western Virginia.
Yeah. And do you know what he does? He talks football on those golf courses.
Oh, smoking cigars, talking about the early 80s. Yes.
Yeah, getting concussed, getting hit from behind.
I still see stars and birds.
My neck still flops back sometimes because I took so many hits.
Well, this is Purple Daily right here. Daily Vikings Entertainment presented by Surly Brewing Company. We also have a little show we like to call Vikings Vent Line right after Vikings games are over, and it's Vikings-Packers week, boys. Let's pump this thing up here. Alex Boone yesterday, if you missed that, or 2 days ago now, Realistic Randy on Tuesday. So all kinds of stuff for you, Daily Vikings Entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. That's really not that much of an ask after 60 years, all right? Let's put one on the board here. So every Thursday, we go into our State of the Offense address. And by the way, if you're watching us on a TCL TV, I want to shout them out real quick, too, because they're a huge, huge partner of ours. And you can support us by supporting them and yourself in your football viewing by getting one of the world's best-selling television sets. A new lineup of award-winning TVs delivering the most entertainment with stunning resolution at an affordable cost. Enjoy more of the things you love with TCL. So State of the Vikings Offense. Let's let Adam Thielen actually start this episode with some of his thoughts.
It just gives us confidence, like, hey, they trust that we can go make plays. They trust as an offense that we can convert on those fourth downs in crucial situations, right? A lot of those fourth down calls were in big situations that really changed the game. So, for us, we have a lot of confidence and we want to be aggressive because we know what we can do in the skill positions and as an offense, honestly, we have a lot of confidence what we can do. So when we're aggressive, it's exciting, but at the same time, it makes you a little bit more attentive to detail because if they're going to be aggressive, then you better be at your best to convert because those are huge plays in the game.
So I'm going to give you guys a little teaser here. I've got my 4 key offensive stats for you, but Adam Thielen talking about, hey, they're just, let's get us the ball here. I think he's talking about himself and Justin Jefferson. Adam Thielen has one of the best contested catch rates in the NFL. That didn't even make the 4 key offensive stats. But he's been throwing 19 contested balls, if you will, and he's caught 13 of them. So 70% of the sort of 50-50 balls that you throw to Adam Thielen, he comes down with. 70%.
That's great. That quote just bugged me so much because of the end. What is this quid pro quo with and it's not Thielen's fault here, but what he said is the same thing that Zimmer said when he said, Justin, we're going to get you the ball more, but we need more. We need more at practice. And Thielen just said, well, if we're going to do that, we've got attention to detail, which they've clearly been told. It's like there's this threat constantly that if you're not doing exactly what I want, then we're going to pack it in and go home. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like what's this? So it's like the dad who's going to turn the car around.
This is the most worked up I've seen you all week, I think.
It's like the dad who's going to turn the car around, though. But, I mean, this is a high-flying – this offense, I really like it. Like, it's got the potential to be really good, and we saw some things on Sunday I really liked. but it's always like they're under this threat, like they're 12. Like, if you guys get out of line, the backseat of this car, you know what? Disneyland's off, and we're going to turn her around, and we're going home.
Do you think Mike McCarthy is saying that to his offense?
But
saying, listen, Amari, now,
exactly.
If you give me a little bit more at practice day, hey, CD, I'll give you a couple balls in the game that you wouldn't ordinarily get. Give you a couple cookies, but you got to give me everything you've got. Wednesday practice.
But I mean, so the threat is basically, if we take a shot and it don't work, don't be surprised if we never take a shot again.
Right.
That's the threat.
True. Yeah,
it's just mind-boggling.
It is kind of weird. Like the whole Zimmer thing after Sunday's game. You know, I went up to Justin Jefferson and told him, "All right, we'll make sure you get the ball, but you got to do something for me." It's like, well, do you want the offense to operate at its full peak capacity? Do you want to blow teams out once in a while? I almost feel like Mike Zimmer
really bugs me.
Doesn't feel comfortable trying to blow teams out. Like, look at some of the scores the last couple weeks in these NFL games. 43-6, right? The Patriots are throttling the Browns. They see an opening, and they step on throats. The Dallas Cowboys against the Falcons, right? What was the final score there? Like 40-something, 43.
We're on the same.
Basically the same score.
Yeah, we're on the same.
You know, like, do you guys feel like... And the Vikings defense, you can't make up for last year and maybe the year before. You could say, well, the Vikings defense wasn't good enough to blow teams out because they were constantly letting teams back in games. Now, the Vikings defense isn't back to where it was in 2017, but the Vikings play some pretty good defense this year.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think they have enough star power? They've got an accurate enough quarterback. Their offensive line isn't really that good, but like, I think they're only getting pressured on like 33% of dropbacks or something. So like, you're getting clean pockets more often than not. Shouldn't you have a couple games by now where you are just winning by 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, and you're just throttling somebody? Doesn't it feel like that should be the case?
Yeah, including the Detroit game.
Yeah.
Like that Detroit game. But why is it that the guy who's in charge is clearly like threatening the production? Like, what's the way to get the least efficiency from people? To make them walk on eggshells.
Yes.
And it's like, and I mean, what Thielen is saying there is, we want to be aggressive, which is awesome. They should. We want to do what we did on Sunday, but there's the perceived threat that if we screw that up, if Kirk throws a pick, if I don't catch a ball, you know, if I go up for a contested ball and I tip it and it gets picked off, that's it. Then it's run game. Anyway, that's just, it's such, it goes so counter to what should be the thought process.
Okay, I'm going to give you another little teaser here. We might as well switch the name of it from 4 key offensive stats to 6 key offensive stats, because I got another one for you. Okay? Whoa! So as frustrated as we have been with the Vikings offense, not like it's been a good offense, but we think it could be maybe even a great offense. Like, not quite, I wouldn't say quite what Dallas is doing and what Tampa, but it should be closer to a top 5 offense in more categories, I think, based on the personnel.
Sure.
They're 15th right now in yards per play, but the Packers are 17th. Mm-hmm. Now, that does include one game with Jordan Love where they literally couldn't do anything. So if you take that game out, the Packers and Vikings are probably neck and neck. But the Vikings average more yards per play offensively than their opponent on Sunday, the Green Bay Packers. How does that land with you guys? Because I don't think that's the perception. I think the perception is that, the Packers offense, right? But
yeah, it's not the perception. It doesn't shock me because the Packers defensively have been very good. Their offense is probably not as good as we think because we're going back to what we have known previously from them. But it also frustrates me again because it brings on the question of why aren't you winning some games comfortably and why aren't you embracing the fact, like, it's no secret what they did against the Chargers. It's not surprising to me. Like, we've talked about this all year. The state of the Vikings offense potentially is great. Like, it's really good. And yes, the offensive line has some problems, okay? But that doesn't mean that you don't have skilled position guys. And clearly, if you empower Kirk like they did on Sunday, and Kirk needs to be propped up, I get that. But you've got the potential. So actually, that stat does not shock me. It frustrates me even more so.
Yeah. And I think even though the Packers defense, like, they shut out the Seahawks, I don't know that I see a huge gap between the Packers and Vikings defensively, especially Vikings playing at home. So the more we'll do the whole game prediction for Purple Props later this week, and we'll dive into the spread and everything. But Packers being like field goal, 2-3 point favorites in this game, it's weird to me. I think it's a lot of perception. It's the perception. It's the record difference.
I agree.
Aaron Rodgers,
you know what it is?
Perceived MVP season last year, but Kirk is having the best season of his career right now too.
It's largely how the Vikings have been coached.
Yep.
I just keep coming back to that. I keep coming back to the direction and coaching because I don't hate this team. I just don't. They're frustrating at times. But I really think that this comes back. I mean, if the Vikings had won a couple of the games that they were supposed to win, or a couple of the games that they won, but had won them by substantial margins, Phil, I think this game, in fairness, is like Vikings by a point or pick them. Like that's what it should be here, not in Green Bay.
So if they had if Greg Joseph makes a field goal, a 37-yard field goal against the Cardinals, and the Vikings are 5-4 going into this game. And let's even go a step further and say if they just find a way to win that Bengals game, whether it was the Dalvin Cook, I thought it was a bad call, the fumble, like there was a couple chances to win that game.
Yeah.
And so they're 5-4 or they're 6-3. Especially if they're 6-3, then they'd be favored in this game.
Yes.
So like one or two plays probably is the difference between like 3 or 4 or 5 points in this spread against the Packers on Sunday. And they're whole perception.
And they're also what right now? 2-2 at home?
Yeah, they lost to the Browns.
Yep.
And what was the other home loss?
Dallas.
Browns, Dallas.
Dallas.
Halloween night. Yeah.
But they beat Detroit barely here. The other thing, too, is I think if we go back and watch it, that Browns loss is not a good loss now.
No,
like I'm less and less impressed by that loss. And what happens offensively if you unleash them? So like I felt like that Browns game was again conservative and let's try and run the ball and let's try and do this. I mean, the fact is Baker Mayfield had a terrible game. He's hurt and he had a terrible game. So what happens if you take your offense in that game and impose your will as opposed to Phil, what you keep saying, which I agree with completely, which is sort of what Mike's theory of the game plan has to be.
Well, and then let's just zoom it out to this. So the Patriots beat the brakes off the Browns. Just an absolute embarrassing clown show for the Browns. The Vikings looked awful against the Browns at home, lost that game. What were the biggest differences? So the Browns, now Nick Chubb did play against the Vikings, didn't play against the Patriots, right?
Or Hunt did, or both of them did. I mean, their run game was in better shape, but they scored 14 points, correct?
But my main point here is, what was the biggest difference between the Patriots and the Vikings? It's not roster. It's certainly not top-end offensive skill position player weapons, right?
Correct. Yes.
And although I really like what they're doing at quarterback there with Mac Jones, and I would certainly take his contract for the next 4 or 5 years over Kirk's, I don't think they have a decided quarterback advantage with a rookie quarterback. Like Mac Jones has been really good, but let's pump the brakes before we say he's definitively better than Kirk Cousins, right? Coaching was the biggest difference. And some injuries here and there, but all right, I got to give you guys these 4 key offensive stats here.
Good conversation. Yeah, good stuff. Come on, Dex, it's been good.
Let's start with
executive producer. Go time.
How long ago did you get sick of that conversation? Was it like 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago?
7. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Thanks for empowering us.
You're welcome.
All right. The first key offensive stat, and these are categories of stats here.
All right.
Kirk Cousins. Is this the best season of Kirk Cousins' career? All right. So he's 12th in QBR, which, all right, it's about where you would think. Mm-hmm. But Football Outsiders analytical rankings have him 5th. Pro Football Focus has him 2nd behind Tom Brady this season. He only has committed 8 turnover-worthy plays all year, which is the 10th fewest in the NFL. I think he had like 21 turnover-worthy plays or something, or 23 last year.
Sure.
Now, on the flip side, he only ranks 34th in average depth of target. So it's a lot of checkdowns this season, a lot of short stuff, tight end screens and things of that nature. He's right next to Jared Goff and Ben Roethlisberger in the depth of target rankings. But in terms of where he sits, and PFF loves him again this season. Second, Football Outsiders 5th, and QBR 12th. So I guess my question is, do you think he's playing his best football, Kirk Cousins?
I think he's playing his best football over an extended period of time since he signed here. He's had better months. So like the Kirktober thing is real. And those have been some phenomenal months. But I honestly think that his play, for the most part, has been his most consistent play and his best play. The only thing is, I hate that stat of turnover-worthy plays, because it should be higher. It's, again, an example of plays that he can make that will be deemed, like, let's say that's 15. Let's say it's 20, okay?
Well, the league leaders have 21, by the way.
But that stat means potential for picks or fumbles, correct?
Yeah, it's not saying that a 50-50 ball is a turnover-worthy play, though.
Okay, I'd be curious to know what that is.
It's defined as, it's kind of nebulous. It's definitely subjective, but it's, did you do something reckless with the football, potentially allowing for a fumble? It goes beyond like 50-50 balls.
Okay. So
and it goes more into the reckless category, where you turn around and you threw it off a defender's chest and he dropped it or something.
I guess the thing is, I would definitely like to see him told to do what he did against the Chargers, which is take more chances. But yes, I think overall this has been the most consistent that we've seen from Kirk this deep into a season, where I think he's definitely giving you a chance. I would like to see them give him more opportunity, though, given the players he has to throw to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you nailed it. He's had better peak stretches where he's got probably 4 or 5 different stretches in his career, even going back to Washington, where for 6 weeks he throws, 15 touchdowns or something, like just puts up ridiculous numbers. So you haven't seen, but I think what he's done is he's raised the floor of his play. You're not getting that Falcons game last year. You're not getting there was a couple of years ago in the first month of the season, he threw a 1st and 10 interception in the end zone in Green Bay. And then he had a couple really reckless throws against the Bears. Like he's kind of eliminated the reckless stuff and the fumbles, and he's not giving you train wrecks. But he's not giving you necessarily like the best 5-game stretch at the top of his career. But I'm good with it. I think eliminating the train wrecks is actually a huge key to him, getting to a more sustainable level. So
the thing that I loved about the Chargers game for him was he got off to a Kirk start. He was really shaky. Like the first 2 drives, I thought, oh my God, this is going to be Kirk against the Chiefs or the Bears game that caused Diggs to bolt, or the Seahawks game where he threw the ball backwards.
Yeah.
And he rebounded and played, I thought, really well. So like, that's the thing is, I have no problem with Kirk struggling for a series or two, but in the past, it seemed to impact the rest of the game. And I don't think we've seen a fully impacted Kirk is falling apart game in 2021.
Mm-hmm. All right. Key offensive stat category number 2.
You like that? You like that?
Justin Jefferson. Let's talk about Justin Jefferson here. He is incredible in 2 categories, and these are from Pro Football Focus. Man coverage. When he lines up against man coverage, it's me versus you. He has the 2nd highest wide receiver grade in the NFL behind Cooper Kupp, who's just having a ridiculous season for the Rams. When you target Justin Jefferson in man coverage, you have a 136.7 passer rating. On 30 attempts to Justin Jefferson in man coverage, 21 of the attempts have resulted in first downs, not catches. So what's the math there? Like just under 70% of targets to Justin Jefferson in man coverage result in first downs.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is slot. When he's lined up in the slot, he is the highest graded slot receiver in the NFL. Now, only about a quarter of his targets come out of the slot because he does line up outside quite a bit. But they're putting him in the slot. About 25% of his targets are in the slot, and he is the highest graded, according to PFF, slot receiver in the NFL. So slot and or man coverage, and it is impossible basically to guard Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but I mean that's what we knew, right? Like he is, and that's why you can't just say, well, he's being doubled, and that's it for him today. Now we're gonna throw to Conklin and
that's what it's been, right? Oh no.
Yeah. Well, that Lions game was the biggest cop out I've ever seen. It's like, okay, they adjusted. Now, hey, Clint, it's your turn to adjust now. No, man, he's done. He's done. We can't. Oh, man, no.
More Conklin.
Too deep.
Alex
deep
Madison,
shell.
swing
too
passes.
Too deep shell. It's over for him. That's why that was so ridiculous.
Tap out.
That's why that was just so maddening to watch, because you're like, okay, find a way to get him the ball.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's amazing. He's amazing, and some of these stats bear it out. Okay, category number 3 here.
Football.
The offensive line. State of the offensive line here, okay? So ESPN.com has the Vikings ranked 25th in pass block win rate.
Oh.
And that's defined as, did you hold up for 2.5 seconds before the defense won their matchup with you? Like, your job is to make sure that for 2.5 seconds you don't allow anyone to beat you collectively. So they're 25th in pass block win rate. But PFF has the Vikings offensive line overall in terms of run blocking and pass blocking 30th out of 32.
God.
PFF only has really one above average graded offensive lineman, and it's Brian O'Neill. Everyone else is either like average or below average or train wreck.
Right.
Mason Cole's PFF grade is 12 points higher than Garrett Bradbury's. Oli Udoh is the second most penalized guard in the NFL, 11 penalties in 9 games. So it's bad. Now, I think people tend to overreact and say, well, the offensive line is, bottom 5, which means Kirk Cousins never has any time to throw. Well, it's like when you're ranking umpires. Angel Hernandez is the worst umpire in baseball. Well, he still gets like 96% of the calls right. So, I'll give you one more here. The Vikings are keeping Kirk Cousins mostly clean, pressure-free, 65 to 70% of snaps.
Yeah, I think if you look, I think where they've actually declined from last year is run blocking. I think the run blocking's down, and Dalvin now has actually taken a page from the AP book and gone famine, feast. He is losing more yards this year than I think he has throughout his career. So I think it's the run blocking that's going backwards. But what does that encourage the coaching staff to do? To establish the run, you have to pass. That's why the loss, the significant loss, it seems like, of play action is mystifying, because they're not complementing themselves. They're so one-dimensional at times that teams are like, okay, we'll put 8 in the box. That's unblockable for the most part. And the way to get a team to back off and bail back is to be like, well, we have Justin Jefferson too. So if you do that, you're going to pay the price. So I actually feel in some ways like the line is being set up to fail by the play calling.
Have they commented much on now they did run like 12 play actions last week. It was the most play action heavy game of the season.
Yes.
But like they're like 16th in play action attempts, and they just seem like Kirk is great at it for his career. And you got Dalvin and an offensive line that could use a little tricked up, just like an extra half beat of time on a play action to hold off the defense. Have they talked much about? I'm sure Courtney Cronin and Collar, I'm sure they've been asked about it, but like, why aren't they running more play action?
They just speak in circles. Like they don't give. I think they were asked about it more early in the season when it was clear that the numbers were declining. And well, I mean, Clint doesn't really. He does a weekly press availability on Thursdays, but he doesn't say a damn thing. And Zim gets defensive. But yeah, it's and I also feel bad for Dalvin, because the threat of Dalvin is largely the threat. It's not like if you give him the ball and are like, okay, get yards, that kills the threat, because then if you're the defense, you know exactly who to focus on.
Yeah.
So again, I keep coming back to one thing. I keep coming back to coaching and asking this question. Are you maximizing your offense's ability to be its best?
Yeah. No. And listen, they took a step in the right direction against the Chargers.
You're right.
Do it again against the Packers,
You're
and
right.
you probably beat them. Okay, before we get to the 4th category here, and I do have a bonus one too, so it's really going to be like 7 key offensive stats here.
The executive
this
producer
episode.
pissed right now.
I'm sorry.
I like it. I got nothing else to do right now, so I love this. Fiesta football.
Well, you got nothing else to do but talk football and lose weight.
That's right. Thanks to my good friends at Livia Weight Control Centers, and I want to tell you,
Judd's here to chew bubblegum and lose weight.
Look at
He's
this
all
face.
out of
Look at
bubblegum.
this face. Livia.com. That's why, my man, the weight is peeling off. Started at 240 down to 217, and right now I want to tell you about Livia's Season to Believe Friends and Family event. You join now, save 40% off your plan. That's right. Join now, save 40% off your plan. Your first visit is free. 855-GO-LIVE, 855-GO-LIVE, or visit Livia.com, Livia.com. Tell them Score North and Judd told you to check them out. Get yourself on a program that has helped me immensely. I feel better. My clothes are looser, and some people might even think I look better. That's subjective.
It is. It is. Yeah, you guys.
Stella tells me I'm looking good these days.
PFF likes you, but Football Outsiders says you're just kind of average.
My DVOA.
Yeah.
1 millionth.
Also, a shout out to Federated Mutual Insurance Company. So they're all about risk management. They help business owners maximize the success of their business. And it's kind of like Kirk, right? He's looking to, he's minimizing risk by having a low number of turnover-worthy plays. Federated comes in, they help protect your bottom line, help protect your employees. You know, think about what winter weather could do to harm your business. You know, just Federated thinks about all these things, and they have all kinds of people and resources to help you as a business owner. Federatedinsurance.com. And remember, at Federated, it's our business to protect yours.
You like that? You like that?
All right, category number 4 here, 4 key offensive stats. Let's talk about third and fourth down offense. The Vikings rank 26th in the NFL in third down conversion rate. And just digging through some of the other peripheral numbers here, a lot of it is because they tend to throw short of the sticks and hope that, whether it's a check down or design plays, a lot of throws short of the sticks. I mean, their average depth of target, it was better last week, but it's still like bottom 3 in the NFL. So when you throw short of the sticks, that's what happens. You wind up not converting first downs. But here's the more interesting one. The Vikings rank number 1 in the NFL in fourth down conversion rate. They convert 73% of their fourth down attempts, but they've only gone for it 11 times all season, which is like bottom 9 in the NFL.
Right.
73% conversion rate.
Right.
It's amazing. So I don't go for it a little more often, Zim.
Go for
and you
it.
got the validation there at the end of the Chargers game.
Give yourself a better chance on third down by being smarter on second down. Then you don't get to fourth down. I think that's the problem. I mean, second and long, they run.
Yeah.
And so now it's second and 12. Okay, now it's second or third and 8. Let's give yourself a chance on third down. Make it the third and fourth down plays against the Chargers with the third and 20, 18-yard pass to Thielen, and then 2-yard run by a Cook to get the first down, actually should have been how they approached second and long into third down, right?
Yeah.
Like, make the 18-yard pass to Thielen on second down. Okay, now it's third and short. You can convert.
I will also add, too, that Kirk Cousins, there's been a lot of times in his career, and I think maybe even the career stats bear this out, that third down he's not nearly as good on third down as he is on, like, first down or second down, because he's not as good also statistically when teams know that he has to pass. So, because he's not going to flush out, make a big play. He's accurate, but on third down, especially third and long, defenses are coming at you. They know that you have to pass, and he is not good statistically under pressure.
Yep.
So then you look at the top of the list, like, who are the best third down offenses? Well, Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs are number 1. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, and then the Patriots are 4th because they're just really well coached. And Dak Prescott is 5th on that list. So it's basically some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. At the bottom of that list, Jaguars, Lions, Seahawks are on there in large part because Geno Smith played like 3 games.
Yeah.
And the Vikings are third, like I said, 26th in third down conversion. So,
but if you make a third down more consistently, third and short, you can hand the ball off and get the first down. That's the thing, is they don't often enough put themselves in in a position to succeed from a coaching standpoint. And so then when it's 3rd and 10, yeah, they're going to blitz Kirk. Kirk's going to throw a ball at Conklin's feet. So yeah, give yourself a chance on 3rd down to actually run the ball on 3rd down by passing on 2nd down when it's 2nd long.
And then I lied. I told you guys it was 4 offensive stats. I gave you 2 bonus ones. Here's a 7.
Seven.
All right.
7.
Ball security. The Vikings have committed the fewest turnovers in the NFL so far this season. 6, only 6 through the first 9 games.
Kirk's only lost 1 last week, right? I think
one
Kirk's
fumble
only
lost.
One fumble.
I think so.
He's
And he only
fumbled a
has
few
2
times.
2 interceptions.
Yep. That's not
And
bad.
it kind
Not
of
too bad.
feels like, my God, like they've committed so few turnovers and they're below 500 still. Just it definitely feels like a missed opportunity in these first 9 games, but chance to even it up at 500. So those are your key offensive stats.
7. Bringing 7 to the table.
Yep. All right. Are you guys ready to go head to head here to battle for random Viking of the week
Boy.
supremacy?
All right. Hold on. Yep. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. It's
Let's go.
time
Let's
for
go.
the random Viking of the week.
All right. Okay.
Presented by Surly Brewing Company. They're doing a giveaway here, too.
They are indeed. In fact, on their Instagram page right now, if you go to the Surly Brewing Instagram page and share with them in the comments your favorite Vikings memory, it might be Moss at Lambeau, it might be Moss in Dallas, it might be Favre to Lewis touchdown against San Fran. One person who tags a friend will be picked to sit in the Surly Suite for Sunday's game. That's right. They have 2 tickets for you in the Surly Suite to watch Vikings-Packers at US Bank Stadium. Again, Surly Instagram page. They will be picking the winner in the next, I think, couple of days. And so you will find out if you can bring a friend to watch the game from the suite. And if you don't win, guess what I suggest? That's right. You go out and pick up some Surly Furious IPA and enjoy the Vikings game on your TCL TV with a Surly Furious right by you. Don't forget, call my friends at Livia on Monday.
Are you done?
Or just wait till
Dude,
Monday.
All right. We're good.
Just
My
wait till
God.
He's pushing my buttons. He knows what he's doing. He's doing this on purpose. It's not even for any other reason.
We got Dex going. I got to sit by him tonight at the hockey game.
All right. Random Viking of the week.
All right.
This random Viking played, and by the way, Declan is down 10-5 to Judd after a 4-game winning streak. Judd has gotten the last 2, Jack Del Rio and Jeff Dugan. And this random Viking of the week played college football in the MAC. A little Maction here.
Oh, you're doing
this
the
random
Maction.
Viking of the week.
You're going Maction on us.
Does not help.
Can you guys
I don't know
name? Can
college
you guys
football
name
players.
a MAC player that played for the
Not a
Vikings?
single one.
Name 5 MAC schools.
I can't.
What?
Chester
Yes, you
Taylor.
can.
I literally can't.
Chester Taylor did.
You can't name 5 MAC
I
schools.
legitimately cannot. I don't know college football.
Oh, that's true. You don't.
I
That's
don't pay
fair.
attention to it. I don't.
He doesn't care.
Take.
about
I
it. That's true.
want to take a guess. Guess a MAC team.
Is Ohio a MAC
Yeah.
team?
There you go.
Yep. Bowling Green.
Wow, look at you.
Yep. Toledo.
Is South Dakota a MAC team?
No.
I
Central
don't know.
Michigan. Yeah, he
Okay.
doesn't know. He
Pretty
Yeah,
much
doesn't
I
all
have
care.
of,
no idea.
all of the directional
Yeah.
Michigan schools, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't
Central,
care.
West. Okay. All right. This random
That's fair.
Viking of the week played for 3 different teams in his NFL career, and you guys get 3 wrong guesses each. You can ask me questions if you want to.
3 teams.
Yep.
Chicago. No, but 4. Okay. Sorry.
This random Viking of the week was all conference in 3 high school sports: football, obviously, basketball, and track.
That doesn't-
Okay.
That's a pro football player. That doesn't help me.
Okay. Well, how about this one? In high school,
Yep.
this football player, random Viking of the week,
Yep.
played 4 different positions throughout his high school football career:
Jeez.
running back, wide receiver, outside linebacker, and defensive back as a 4-time letterman for the high school football team. This random Viking of the week has a Super Bowl ring. Obviously not with the Vikings.
And he played for 3 teams.
Yep.
Okay.
This random Viking of the week averaged 14 yards per touch in college. And also, I will add, competed on his college's debate team. That's right. Little Maction debate team for this guy.
Wait, so he competed on his debate team. 14 years. Okay.
This random Viking of the week made over $50 million playing football.
Okay.
This random Viking of the week
Super Bowl ring. 3 teams.
once starred in Old Spice commercials.
Oh, Greg Jennings.
God.
Oh, dude. Wow. Look at this guy right here. Judd Zolgad.
That was easy.
Coming in hot.
That's right. He went to Western Michigan, right?
He did. Western Michigan. He was rowing the boat before PJ Fleck even got there.
For a second, I really was thinking Chester Taylor, but then you said the debate team, and I knew it couldn't beat Chester. Greg Jennings was very articulate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even get to my teammates with Brett Favre swerve. I was going to try and get you guys thinking about the 2009 Vikings there, but didn't even get to that clue.
Oh, that was this very sneaky.
Very sneaky, sis.
That was
so
good.
there it is, Judd with his 10th win in Random Viking of the Week here. All right, that's
Once
a
a
wrap
guest
here.
on the old Mackey and Judd show from the Super Bowl Media Row.
That's right. Yep, he was good. He was good.
Greg Jennings.
Great.
All right, that's a wrap. Purple Daily here today. Tomorrow, we're back at it with a little 4-question Friday. And again, don't forget, right after Vikings-Packers is over, win or lose, let's make it a festive episode of Vikings Vent Line on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys tomorrow.